Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 183. Today, we are back for a very special episode as we are joined by two special guests, two new guests to the show. First off, welcome Elliot to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And welcome our boy Carter C-Lowe to the show as well.
How's it going, boys?
Doing pretty good. Today, we are here to talk all things Lions. We're recording this on Tuesday night. Obviously, the draft happened last week. We got all Lions fans here on the show today to talk Lions because we're diehard fans and we're excited to talk about it because there's a lot of great opinions about what the Lions did in the draft. So let's just hop right into it. I don't think there's anything else that we need to talk about before. So
yeah, no, nothing.
Let's get into it. So I don't know how you guys want to go about doing this, whether we go through each pick or should we just immediately give what we thought the grade for the Lions was in the draft? Like, do you guys have any specific way about how you want to go?
I think we should go pick by pick.
Yeah.
Like, let's just start riffing through them.
And then grade at the end, maybe?
Yeah. All right, so starting off, obviously we had the 6th pick in the draft, but things went a little bit differently than we expected with probably the guy who we were going to pick at 6, Devin Witherspoon, going 5. So we decided to trade down to 12, and Jamir Gibbs is the pick at 12. This is the biggest opinionated pick that the Lions have made in quite some time, especially under Brad Holmes. A lot of people feel differently about this, but I want to start off with you guys. Jamir Gibbs on the Lions, maybe your instant reaction, but also how you feel now, because it could be differently.
This wasn't just the biggest opinionated pick for the Lions. This is the biggest opinionated pick for the NFL. Like, this was when he got picked, that was all over Twitter. Everyone was talking about it. But my initial reaction, I kind of just saw it, and I was like, huh. Didn't judge it all. Never judge any pick or anything right from the start. Looked at it, and I was like, well, they like him. They obviously like him, so... But the initial reaction was Swift's gone.
Yeah. For sure. I agree with that.
That's how it was right when he got picked. So,
what do you think, Carter? What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was like, wow. Like, I don't know. I didn't really see him taking a running back, especially that early.
Yeah, was not expecting it at all. Not at all.
But I was like oddly okay with it. I don't know. He's got so much upside as a pass catcher and stuff too. I could see him fitting in really good.
Yeah, I saw the pick, and my thought was, I was like somebody who actually was like, what are we doing? Like, that was my initial thought. I went the complete total, the route you should never take as a fan. I went I don't get this. Like, what are we thinking? And I knew that, like, Swift is on the way out. If we take a running back, Swift's gone. And then I really got thinking about it. I was like, J-Mo's out. Here we have this guy who's clearly just a playmaker. You get him in open space, and he does things. All you have to do is get him open, which if you've got Ben Johnson guiding your offense, he's going to get this guy into open space and make him able to make plays. You see the Alvin Kamara comparisons right off rip with him, which are fun. They're a lot of fun. He's a pass-catching back. Again, get him in space. I like the pick, especially losing the little bit of offense we might be in those first 6 games with J-Mo and his suspension. I was just, and I totally get the reaction from social media. There was only one running back mocked with Bijan mocked in the first round. Nobody expected Jamir. Jamir was mocked at the end sometimes of the first round, but never was he mocked top 15 pick. I think another thing, I would have been totally okay if we would have sat at 6 and just taken Jalen Carter. I really would have loved that. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. I like Jalen Carter in this draft. I think the fact that he slid all the way to 9 is just an absolute steal. Or 10.
It was 9.
It was 9.
The Eagles had 10, but they traded up one to get 9.
And the fact that the Eagles got him is so scary. So scary.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded seeing him in a Lions jersey.
I read some stuff that, like, when Jalen Carter visited with the Lions, that it was just, like, super short. It was kind of just like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, hey. And then that was it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be there?
No,
was the vibe? Or?
There wasn't interest from the Lions.
Really?
Yeah. So... At least from what I've seen a little bit.
That's kind of what I've also seen.
Yeah.
It just seemed like they didn't really, they never were really going to pick Jalen Carter. Like, even if the world, it just came down to they had to take him there, that they couldn't trade down, it seemed like that wasn't the move.
Yep.
With Gibbs, I definitely was obviously confused, when they did it, just because I didn't expect it. But, the more I think just what I don't really understand is I get that, Bijan Robinson is, this, generational running back prospect and everything. But, he was taken at pick 8, and, there really was not much, backlash at all about, positional value, you know, with a running back and everything. I understand that like Bijan is a better prospect than Jamir Gibbs, but Brad Holmes said in his press conference like Gibbs was their top running back just because of his fit on the team, like because of his ability to, you know, do both in receiving and rushing. So I just feel like the whole positional value thing is like, and obviously a lot of their picks they go against the positional value trend. Is we didn't have one specific need in this draft. It was like we didn't need to take a corner at 6 or need to take an edge at 6. You know, it was like we have a lot of we have very much flexibility in this draft. So I thought Gibbs at 12 was looking back at it, I'm cool with it. You know?
Oh yeah.
Positional value totally makes sense for a team that like wouldn't use him. But if we use him in the ways that he should be used, positional value doesn't matter. It's just value to the offense. Yards that he gets, that's just value. I understand that running back, it's the most replaceable. I've been saying this for a long time. The running back's the most replaceable position. But if you don't use them, especially, it's replaceable. It'd be the same thing like if a tight end, if a team took a tight end that never throws their tight end, you would think, well, it doesn't that lack kinda positional value? Yeah. Doesn't that lack positional value to that team? We use running backs a lot. You saw how we did it last year. We had the 2 running back system, and you knew what was happening when each one was on the field. Jamal's on the field, it's a run play. DeAndre Swift's in the game. It's probably a pass play. There's a chance he runs it. Now we have these 2 running backs in the backfield who can do both. Dave Montgomery's a solid pass catcher and a great between the tackles runner. And now we have Swift. And so I don't understand the positional value when you look at the way that we use these players. I think that's more important. How is the team going to use them? If we didn't use running backs that much, or they were only goal line players, or we only use them on 3rd and 1, I would understand that. But with the way the Lions use these running backs, it's just not the case.
Yep.
Right.
Do you think with us like passing on a guy like Jalen Carter also, do you think we're just like feel set at that defensive lineman position? Like, do you think we just feel so okay with what we've got right now after the explosion of James Houston last year in the middle of the year?
I feel like
bugs.
I feel like maybe not set, but going into this draft, the way I look at it is like Holmes is taking positions in this draft in order from what he did and the feel of what position he needs to win this year. You know, I think he upgrades. You can't say upgrade at running back, but Swift is good, but he didn't play a whole bunch, you know, like he's been injured his whole career, sadly. He's good when he plays, but from the positions that he took, they're taking positions that they want to improve to win, help them win this year. So I don't know. The Jalen Carter thing is it's whatever, because I think he'll be good. Like, because he was before the whole incident, like he was top 3 guaranteed, like still arguably the best player in the draft, people are saying. So I don't know, but I don't want to jump ahead, but they've got that they got a D tackle. But it was in like, what was it, like the 5th round?
I think it was 4th round.
It was 4th round.
Yeah, so it was a need for them, but obviously, but like not that important.
Clearly.
So.
Was there a guy for you guys that when we were at pick 12 that was like you kind of thought that they were going to take? Because like for me personally, like when we did our mock draft, I picked Christian Gonzalez to get picked at pick 6 because I thought he was like the best corner in the draft, honestly. So when we traded down to 12, I was like, oh my God, we're going to trade down and still get this guy. Obviously, we didn't. But was there like, what did you guys like expect to be the pick at 12, I guess? Not even just a specific guy, but position, I guess, if there is one.
Go for it.
I don't know. I thought maybe for some reason they would go defense, but I didn't know exactly where, I guess.
I definitely thought Christian Gonzalez was an option.
What I was.
I definitely
when he dropped, when we were at 12 and he was still available there, I was like, Gibbs was nowhere near what I was like, not even in my mind.
No, literally,
it was Gonzalez at that point. But when I saw him drop to the Patriots, I was like, people are saying that's a steal, but I was like, why did so many teams pass?
Exactly.
There's got to be a reason, right?
Yeah.
Like he still could be great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like Commanders,
they picked a corner before, a different corner over
the
him.
guy from Mississippi State.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Forbes or whatever.
Emmanuel Forbes.
That's why I was really confused about that one. But it's I mean it is a thing that happens in the draft. Obviously, a dude starts to fall a couple picks, and then other teams kind of panic, and they're like, well, we didn't really meet with this guy. Like, should we draft him? I don't know. And then it just becomes a weird thing there. So
I like that though. That's a Bill pick right
there.
That's a Bill pick right there.
We can get into the Patriots draft a little bit later. That's a very interesting draft. All right, so at pick 18, the Lions did not move down. They decided to stick at pick 18. Once again, this was a unexpected pick, I would say, for most Lions fans, as we take inside linebacker Jack Campbell from Iowa. This was a guy that I saw a lot of Lions fans like mocking to go to the Lions in the second round, like because I knew a lot of Lions fans liked him. But once again, a pretty wild pick here at 18 as far as this positional value thing goes. What did we think about Jack Campbell though coming to the Lions?
I love it.
Yeah,
that guy. That guy's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it right now. I mean, whatever, but like, I think he's going to be good. Like, that guy is going to get in, and he might be a little slow, maybe a little whatever, but he's going to make tackles. He's at inside linebacker. That guy is going to make tackles, especially what I really like is having Anzalone at that same position. Watching Anzalone play, right? That guy is always at the tackle during the play, just can't make it.
Yeah.
So
he just flies in at the tackle.
He does,
he doesn't
exactly. Jack Campbell is going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Someone I know says that this guy from Iowa eats, breathes, and lives football. Like, I love that, bro. I love
like a Dan Campbell guy.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
That guy is going to be a great football player for the Lions, especially for Dan Campbell. It's going to be awesome.
And they got the same last name too, so like it's perfect.
Clearly family ties there.
Yep.
Something fishy might be going on there.
What'd you think about Jack Campbell pick at 18, Carter?
I honestly am with Elliot. I love it. He is a really good football player. I actually watched a couple games with him in it this year, and he's a down nose, like puts his nose down and gets to the ball. So you gotta love that. And he's got a lot of upside. He's young, but he, like Elliot said, he loves football.
And that's what they needed. They needed a guy that can go out and make a tackle. Like they've got playmakers on the team, like they have Houston and Hutchinson off the edge that are making plays, but like they need a guy that they can like I'll give for example, like arguably use. It's probably still not the best linebacker in the league, but like Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was always there making plays. Luke Kuechly, when he played, always there making tackles. Like he may not be like a highlight guy, tackles for loss and everything, but like very reliable to sit there and like running back comes through the hole. He's getting the tackle.
He's going to be in on every play.
Exactly. And I think Jack Campbell's going to be that. I may be a little biased, but I think he can be that guy. You know?
We're allowed to be.
He was the ultimate,
fans, you know?
Yeah, he was the ultimate run stopper at Iowa. You know, like everything that people are complaining about is like he's not very good like out in coverage, but I don't know if that's necessarily like a guy that we need. You know, like I think that we kind of, you know, it is interesting because we re-signed Anzalone, but Anzalone technically has only got 1 year of guaranteed, so you could get rid of him after this year. But yeah, I mean, Campbell, he had a couple interceptions too at Iowa. I think he had a pick six as well, so he can drop back a little bit in coverage, but he's just huge. I think he's like 6'5", 6'4",
Yeah,
6'5".
he's massive.
Like, he's a humongous linebacker, makes plays. We know how Iowa, they're a tight end and linebacker factory, and we got a tight end from them too, obviously. We'll get into that. But Campbell was a guy that definitely a lot of Lions fans were weird at first, but I've just never been one to judge the pick immediately or just get pissed about it because it's like these guys are on our team still either way.
We have to root for them next year.
Yeah, I can't sit here and be like, that was the worst pick. This guy sucks. And it's like, like I have to sit here and watch him play every single game. Obviously, I'm going to root for him.
We saw that Dan Campbell actually thought he was much more athletic than people were giving him credit for. They thought he was side to side much better than people thought he was, which is huge. I mean, you can teach a guy to sit in coverage. These are NFL trainers. And also, I could see with that pick, C.J. Gardner-Johnson kind of coming in to be more of the coverage linebacker in certain packages and stuff. We saw the Eagles were extremely versatile with him. He's not he's not your typical DB safety guy.
Sure,
I mean, he plays all over the field. That's what makes him so special. So I could really see him slide into much more of a linebacker role with the Lions to be that coverage guy. And later in the draft, we beef up the corner even more.
I like our first round picks. Everyone is, and we talked about this a little bit before we started, but I think most people that were like saying the Lions made terrible picks were people on Twitter, people on TikTok, and Lions fans. Honestly,
and just Lions fans who still think same old Lions.
Yes.
Even though when you completely change the whole front office, it's still same old Lions.
It's not Patricia and Quinn no more.
But the people on TV, which I will say, Dan Orlovsky, he does still have heavy Lions bias. I love it. He thought the Lions did phenomenal in the draft. Louis Riddick thought the Lions did phenomenal in the draft. Like all these guys on TV,
I saw
actually
Herb Street talking to was it the McAfee show?
Yeah, he was on Pat McAfee
saying that Gibbs was like a phenomenal pick, like that he's better than Bijan in ways, you know. So
it's not just because like it's not what matched your mock draft.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean that it was like a bad pick.
But listen, I totally understand in drafts like like going to draft positions that you need, and sometimes when a guy falls in your lap, you have to take them. Like there were probably players that are better than Gibbs that at 12.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, we needed Gibbs. Like, we wanted him, So, like, why go take a player that we wanted somewhere else,
And, I mean,
or didn't want somewhere else.
There is a good chance that maybe this was a Ben Johnson influence pick. He decided to come back when he could have went and took a head coaching opportunity. Maybe we wanted to reward him by a little bit. This is all speculation, obviously, but we wanted to give him another weapon to add into this offense with Jamir Gibbs, which I'm excited to see how he uses him, because I see the Kamara, I see the Deebo Samuel comparisons. Obviously, these are all just random comparisons, but very excited for that. So hopping into the second round at pick 34 that we acquired from the trade down from 6 to 12. Once again, these first three picks were all exactly what people didn't want. We go with tight end out of Iowa, Sam Laporta at pick 34. We traded away an Iowa tight end last season, and we got the guy that broke all his records at Iowa, and Sam Laporta. So what are we thinking about Laporta?
I mean, we just got the better tight end. It was funny. I was at the bar with my friend. We were watching the second round, and Lions were up, and he's like, who do you want here? He's like, Brian Branch, a bunch of other players. He's like, but if I swear to God, if they pick a tight end, like he's a big trust Brad Holmes guy. He was like,
Right.
Don't care, trusting him. He's been good. I'm gonna sit here, whatever he picks, I'll be fine. But he goes, but if he does pick tight end, I will be a little disappointed. And he picked tight end, and he started bursting out laughing. Yeah, it was so funny.
That's actually.
But no, I like it. I like it there because I remember someone was saying that, like, why should we go on a tight end that early when we succeeded with Mitchell and Brock or whatever, and like, why do we need a tight end this early or whatever? But like, it's good teams. Look at the 2 Super Bowl teams this year. Great tight ends.
Yeah.
Why not go get a good tight end? He's still gonna fit our system. So.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
I've been saying for a long time that the tight end is the most valuable position on the football field.
It is in ways.
In recent history, we've just seen if you have the best tight end in the league, there's a good chance you're going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, Gronk, Travis Kelce, a couple of years. I mean, there was Kittle. Yep. Then there was like Philly, where Zach Ertz was incredible that year when Philly won it.
Goddard was still at a really good year.
Yeah, Goddard had an awesome year. I mean, these teams have them.
Of good tight ends drops off so much after like 6 or 7 of them,
It does.
It did a ton.
For sure it does.
It's similar to an elite run blocking running back, where you just don't see him very often, where a tight end can do it all. And we saw a guy like Gronk, who was this great run blocker, and then he was Mr. go up and get the ball at the same time, where I'm going to run you over. And it's just so hard to find these versatile tight ends like these guys. So I'm really hoping Laporta can be that for us. But I'm excited to see how we use them, because I did love last year how we did the 3 tight end, the system where you never really knew which tight end was going to get the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd stick two or three of them out there on packages, and it was always like, well, I guess which one do we really pay attention to? And then we just throw it to the open one, which I did love, and I hope we continue to do a lot of that, where you never really know who's going to get the football, because I think it benefited us in the long run. We saw, when Hockenson was here, there was a lot of focus on Hockenson. The defenses would focus on him. He didn't get a lot of. I feel like our tight ends did more when he left, when people quit worrying about our tight ends.
They
all of a sudden it was like, oh, we don't got to worry about Brock, right? And he's got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Shane Zylstra
had 3 touchdowns one day.
Yeah, like
exactly.
that.
I was at that. I think it was the Packers game when Zylstra caught his first touchdown. I was sitting there. I was just like, who the fuck? I was literally like, because his brother was on the team too.
Yeah,
there was another Zylstra on the sideline. I was like,
Zylstra,
is that his brother? Like, I was just like, who the hell are these guys? I had no clue, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
It was so, it was
day.
so funny.
Yeah, I mean, the Laporta pick, and he's the thing about Laporta, I think everyone's most excited about is like what he does after he catches the ball, because he's already such a big target, but he just runs dudes over. I mean, he is like a machine running down the field.
How tall and like what's his height and weight?
I think he's like 6'4", I'm pretty sure. Weight, I don't want to get it wrong.
I'm pretty sure he's.
I was gonna say 250.
He looks like it, right?
Yeah,
he's not huge. I know that he's not huge.
Okay,
just like a solid built guy.
Yeah, he's like a normal sized tight end.
Like, is he fast?
Probably,
is he known for his speed? I don't know a lot about
I've
this
heard
guy.
that I haven't watched a lot of his film.
Who watches Iowa? They scored like 3 touchdowns.
It's tough to watch an Iowa offense.
But like, sure. I remember like all the things that I was hearing about him was his like ability to break tackles once he gets the football. Like he he doesn't, because like think about Hawkinson. I loved Hawkinson, but I think he would catch the ball. He was really good catcher, but then he kind of wouldn't know what to do after that.
Yeah, you look at his first game in the NFL for the Lions. He flipped over the guy and got a concussion.
He tried to hurdle that dude. Yeah, he definitely was a little, and obviously now he's much better at it. But like Laporta has been kind of the guy that I've heard is very after the catch. He's really good, which our entire offense seems to be guys like that right now.
It seems like that's just who we get.
Especially getting David Montgomery now too. But I mean, there was Michael Mayer on the board. I know that was like if we were going to take tight end, I know that's who a lot of people wanted, but I think that they got the guy that they wanted clearly here, and you can never go wrong drafting the Iowa tight end.
No, it works out.
Michael Mayer is just a bunch of bias too. A bunch of people in Michigan like Notre Dame and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just gonna hear that on Twitter in your ear and shit like that.
Yeah,
and a lot of people. I mean, Michael Mayer was dropping big time. He was. I mean, he was at one point mocked.
Did he go
the first tight
next
end
pick?
He went, very next pick to Oakland
Raiders,
Vegas. I mean, yeah.
And I know a lot of people. I mean, people didn't find as much love for him. He was much more of the run helping.
Yeah,
tight
he's
end.
a block, definitely more of a blocking. Tight end.
I remember seeing that. I think PFF graded both of them, and that there were like 4 different things that they graded him on, and Mayer got like good or average on like all of them, and then like Laporta was like good and great on all of them. I can't remember the exact grade, but like.
We'll take that.
Exactly. We'll take it for sure.
Why not? So with our second pick in the second round at pick 45, we trade up 3 spots to go get this pick. And this was the pick where I saw a lot of Lions fans immediately changing their opinion on the entire Lions draft, which is just like, cool it, guys. Like, let's just take some time here. But at pick 45, we select safety from Alabama, Brian Branch, who was an expected first-round pick. He's another guy that the safety position is not valued high in the draft, but a lot of analysts had Brian Branch ranked as like a top 15 player in this class in general. And this definitely seemed to be the best value pick for the Lions, taking Brian Branch here at 45.
Love it.
Yeah.
Best pick of the draft. I was talking to Carter about this too later that night. What I liked best is that he was in the green room for day 2.
That's true.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, that was cool.
He was the first one to come out day 2, and he has a chip on his shoulder now, which is awesome. But I saw that say these first 4 picks, you switch them around. You go Brian Branch at 12, Gibbs at 18, Campbell at our first, second round, and then Laporta at our second round. What Lions fan complains at that?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean. But the fact that it's switched other ways, they're just going to complain about something. So
just ensuring that we got our guys. That's all we were doing early on.
Exactly.
Is just making. We weren't gonna. If we wanted Jamir Gibbs, we were gonna get him. It was similar to how we got J-Mo last year. J-Mo. It made these guys feel more wanted, and they J-Mo right after was like, yeah, they wanted me. I've got a torn ACL, and they still traded up to get me. I love. I can't wait to play for this organization. I think that says a lot about a team when they go out and get you. I loved it. I love the Brian Branch pick too.
What do you think about the Brian Branch pick, Carter?
That's my favorite pick as well. I think
it was everyone's favorite pick.
I think he's going to be a guy who actually comes in and plays a decent amount off the bat too, because they can put him so many spots. For
sure. He's going to play that same way as CJ.
Yeah,
for sure. From what I've seen or whatever, yeah.
And if we decide to, CJ is on that 1-year deal, and I would love to sign him long term because he's still young. But if he, demands a bigger contract, then we have Brian Branch sitting right there to be that guy. So it gives us insurance, like you said, it gives us flexibility at the spot. And I just think that I'm really interested to see the packages that the defense is going to come out
it's going to be really interesting.
With Branch and Gardner Johnson, with Tracy Walker back. Obviously, Kirby Joseph deserves his spot, and I haven't even said any of the corners yet. So
you haven't mentioned one.
Exactly. So it's like I'm really interested to see how Aaron Glenn works this defense from the get-go. But it's adding Brian Branch is just an absolute. Yep. He's going to be.
That's perfect. It was literally perfect.
Let's stick 6 DBs on the field and 5 run stoppers, and let's see what happens. Some plays. Let's see how we play against the Vikings. I think we kill them.
Well, we're just going to score 50 on the Vikings anyways, so that defense doesn't even matter against them.
That's why I say all the time, to be a Super Bowl winning team, you just need a mid-tier defense. I mean, obviously.
There's certain circumstances.
Defense wins championships.
If you're elite enough.
But look at the Chiefs. Been in the Super Bowl 3 times in the past 5 years, whatever it is, right? 1, 2 of them. They've never had a great defense.
Yeah.
And I know
just
this
had
sounds,
a solid defense.
Exactly. I know this sounds stupid, but they just score more than everyone else, and that's what the Lions are built for this year.
Yeah.
That's the way they drafted too. Is like their offense is going to be elite. They're going to be a great offense. They're going to score a ton of points. And I can't wait.
It's going to be so awesome.
It's going to be so much fun.
They just have tons of weapons, dude. I mean,
Especially once J-Mo comes back, too.
The best offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
I want to actually get your guys' opinion on this because we talked about this last week for the first time about the Jameson Williams suspension because everyone, it's an interesting thing that happened to the Lions. It sucks that it happened, but 6 games, he's out for sure. Obviously, I agree that Quintez Cephas and CJ Moore, betting on NFL games.
Get them out of here.
You can't do that. No, you cannot do that. That makes sense. But Jameson Williams getting suspended 6 games for placing a bet on a college basketball game or whatever it was while in the Lions facility. What do you guys think about that rule? As I assume both of you guys are. I know Elliot is at least an avid sports gambler, so
it's so weird. Like I get the rule, but then also living on Pleasant, we know you can't gamble in certain areas because the casino or whatever, right? The online gambling. The guy, he could have been across the street for anyone knows, but it's in that area or whatever. So it's just like, I mean, it's a rule. I get it, but it's annoying as a Lions fan.
For sure.
Exactly, because like he broke the rule, but it's just like, oh well, that rule's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
so it's just like
sure.
I don't know.
What do you think about it, Carter?
I mean, he did break the rule, and I feel like it's probably something that was addressed, but he probably didn't realize that he even broke it.
Right? Yeah,
probably.
exactly,
it was that low level, kind of. I don't know.
He was probably sitting there going, well, it's college basketball. Why would they even care if I'm betting on this?
Walk over to MGM and place a bet. It's a lot more fun than doing on your phone anyways.
I was reading into it too, just about the whole while you're affiliated with the team, you can't bet on the team bus. You can't bet in the team hotel when you're on away games. Yeah, if you are doing anything with the Lions, you cannot make a bet, which is just... I don't it sounds stupid for me to say that it's stupid because I'm a Lions fan and it happened to our players. But it's so stupid, dude.
It's so bad.
I don't understand that. But he broke the rules, so.
People say all the time, why gamble when you have that much money? Look at Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That man's great. Best hobby is gambling. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Everyone gambles.
You listen to any of the NBA players, on JJ Redick's podcast, all they talk about is how they play that. I don't know what that
Prize
game's
Picks?
called. No, they play some
Boho or something.
Yeah. On the bus every time. Yeah, Boo-Ray.
Yeah, they're all gamblers. When you got that much money, you want to see if you can lose some or win some.
With their fucking quarters with the security guy outside the locker room. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, I've seen LeBron at a poker table in Vegas before. They all gamble, but I don't know. I guess the rule's a rule.
It's so restricting. It's weird that you can't even do it what are they so worried about? Right? What do they think is going to
if he's not taking money from the NFL by betting? He didn't bet on the NFL.
No,
so it's kind of just
that's how I feel.
They got their priorities in the wrong place. I feel.
I know. 6 games a lot.
It's a lot, dude. It's such even if it would have just been 3 games, even that. Seems a little harsh of a line.
Dude.
But. I mean, like Carter said, rule is a rule. I mean, I don't expect him to read every freaking rule in the NFL book or whatever, but
yeah,
I hope the Lions use this as a learning lesson to everyone and say, especially James. It just sucks it had to be J-Mo. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it would have been anyone else other than Goff, it would have been less hurtful. Just because we had not seen J-Mo play at full health yet, dude. I just want to see him.
Well, the good news about this is he'll go through training. Can he play?
That's what I was wondering.
He can do preseason too.
Okay, so he'll do training camp and preseason. So he'll be healthy. He'll be practicing the whole way through. He won't have the games.
But
that's good.
That is definitely good because when he came in last year, he hadn't even practiced.
It was
or
no
anything.
training camp, no nothing.
He just showed up. So at least he will get to go. So he should be. Week 7 game ready to go.
Somewhat fit, just not game experience.
Oh, dude, I really hope our bye is. Does that how that works? Or no, it's 6 games, right? It's not 6 weeks. I don't know how that works. If our bye is in the first 6
games.
Yeah, I think it is 6 games. I think
you're suspended for 6 games.
I think so too. I think it'd be odd if they'd allow the bye to count.
Yeah, because then they could just give us the bye in the first 6.
And then NFL rigged.
Exactly.
Then it becomes an issue.
All right, so let's get into the next pick. This one is probably the most interesting pick of the draft. I don't really know how to describe this one, but at pick 68, the Lions take quarterback Hendon Hooker out of Tennessee. This was something that I don't know if it was expected or not, but we still don't have a backup quarterback, so it seemed like we were going to address that position in the draft, and we do so with a guy that was in some mock drafts projected to go in the late first round, but definitely was the 5th best quarterback in this class. And he goes here at pick 68. What do we think about Hendon Hooker?
I do like him. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's a little older, which worries some people, but I feel like it gives him just a little bit more. Like he'll be able to jump into it.
Pro
a little
readiness,
quicker,
kind of, yeah.
But what I really like is if he does get healthy and it does work out, and somehow he becomes our quarterback, he has that running capability too, which just puts another option into that offense.
For real.
And he's a hard worker, and I don't know. We'll see. I do like the pick. I just also, my sleeper QB for the entire draft was Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You like Stetson Bennett too, right?
Stetson Bennett's the most accurate quarterback in the draft. That guy will not. He might not have the arm, but he's going to make every pass.
That's true. That is
Which
true.
I guess is what you want your backup to do, right?
And the Rams got him. Now Seth gets it. Seth hated Stetson Bennett too, which is the funniest thing ever. Back to Hendon Hooker though. What do we think about Hendon Hooker?
Hendon Hooker. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily love it. They needed a quarterback. He's 25, which is whatever. Your quarterbacks can play for however long.
Yeah.
But he's also, is it ACL that he got that hurt?
ACL, yes.
So it's like he might not even play this year. He might not play at all this year, which is totally fine or whatever. But we did need a backup, and I think they got a good backup in a sense of one of the better quarterbacks in the draft. So I like that. He's got a good arm. He had weapons at Tennessee, which is great. So if he does need to play for the Lions, like he's going to have weapons. He's going to have a good offensive coordinator. But my hopes, I don't want to see Hendon Hooker play in the next 5 years.
Right.
I want Goff to still be like, if Goff wins a playoff game this year or even makes it there with like 11 wins, like I want him back for another 3 years.
Right.
Because he's 28, right? I mean, but I like the Hendon Hooker pick. I mean, I don't hate it. There's nothing to hate. Where we got him, great value,
Exactly.
But like as a Lions fan, like I'm rooting for him. I just don't want to see him play for 5 years.
Yeah.
I want Goff to be there and keep playing the way he is. So
That's the way I kind of looked at it. It was like, Hendon Hooker's a guy for me that we took him. It's awesome that he's on the team. I hope he never plays. I hope a perfect situation, Hendon Hooker never sees the field.
Right.
That means we did everything right, and Goff is there, or maybe we got a different QB. But I think if I'm watching a game and Goff goes down, I'd love seeing Hendon Hooker be the guy to walk onto the field.
Yep.
For sure.
I feel very confident knowing that he's our backup.
Yeah.
I hope that's just what he becomes. I've mentioned Chase Daniels a lot. I think Hendon Hooker would be an awesome perennial backup in the NFL, and if he could just stay
on the Lions.
just on the Lions, like just stay with us, be our backup, man. You're never gonna get hurt. You're never going to get hit in practice.
Yep.
We're going to pay you millions to be a backup for the next 8 years. You don't have to worry about nothing, man. Just get paid. And then when you come in and play, time to shine, bro.
Yep.
Play out. See if you can get a bigger NFL contract. It depends on what kind of person he is and how he feels about his own skill set. But I really like the Hendon Hooker
It was
pick.
definitely a no-risk pick, because he fell this far. He wasn't supposed to be there, and it was like, obviously we had some other needs. We didn't draft an edge rush yet or an interior defensive lineman, but with Hendon Hooker on the board, I know like the Teddy Bridgewater rumors have been pretty active about the Lions signing Teddy Bridgewater, which I still think they probably should, just because Hendon Hooker probably isn't healthy to be the backup this year. But it's a no risk pick. I mean, Hendon Hooker is just going to be a guy that can be an option if Goff goes down. Hooker was a guy that was for sure going to go first round before his injury. Was probably going to win the Heisman if he didn't get injured. And he's doing it at Tennessee, and Tennessee has not been this great football program.
Tennessee's been cursed forever since Bush Jones.
Yeah, and he beat Alabama in that crazy high scoring game. Like he definitely has the ability to play quarterback at a high level. I just am trying to think of the scenario where, let's say, because like you said, if we win 11 games this year, win the division. Maybe let's say we even win the first playoff game, then lose after that. I don't think the Lions have an option other than to pay Goff. Like they have to pay Goff. You can't just let the guy who led you to the playoffs leave.
Yeah.
But what is the world where Lions go? We don't have the year maybe that we think. We go maybe 9-8 again, just miss the playoffs or something like that. Goff has a good year, but didn't quite get us over that hump that we expected because we have expectations this year. Then it becomes do we give Hendon Hooker a shot type thing? I don't really know. That's why I want to get your guys' opinion.
It's going to be really interesting to see if Goff doesn't get us over that hump with Ben Johnson, because like, you look at Goff, he's such a weird quarterback. You know, he looks really good, but then you also got to look at who his offense is, who his offensive coordinators are, back with the Rams and Super Bowl team and everything. If Ben Johnson leaves the year, say he doesn't get over the hump, but we do re-sign him, and Ben Johnson leaves, and can he do it with the new offensive coordinator? Can he get it done? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know. I don't think if we make playoffs, I don't know how lenient they're going to be with re-signing him, especially seeing these contracts they're giving people. Like, they're signing players for 1 year, like CJ Gardner-Johnson and stuff. You know, they're not afraid to dump you and go get someone better, which I love that. I do love that.
What do you think, Carter? You think that Hendon Hooker has the potential to become the Goff replacement, or is Goff just here to stay no matter what?
I think he does if Goff doesn't keep doing what he has been doing.
Right.
You know, he kind of started out even last year a little bit. I heard a lot of people talking about, Goff isn't doing it. Goff isn't doing it. But then the last stretch of the year, he just lit it up. I mean, he barely threw any interceptions, which I love.
7 interceptions on the year.
And it's
a nice year.
That's crazy.
If he can keep doing that and keep winning, I mean, there's no reason to replace Goff at all. And I was a guy that actually liked Goff from the beginning. I really did. I tweeted,
That's awesome.
tweeted as soon as they got him, and I said, I am riding with JG.
I'll admit it. I did not have that much faith in Goff. But Carter, Goff right off the bat. Like,
I love the guy.
He's like, this man's been to a Super Bowl. Like, he's not gonna suck. Like, he's gonna be decent enough.
And he's ready to work.
Exactly,
he was ready to work.
That's awesome, because his team basically was just like, all right, fuck you, see you later.
Yeah. They basically said, screw you.
They gave up an extra first just to get rid of him. And that first turned into Jamir Gibbs, basically.
You've been a Goff guy.
I have.
That's awesome.
Will be until he proves me otherwise.
I'm a Goff guy now.
I'm a Goff guy.
I'll admit I doubted it. I doubted him.
I think the Rams were, like, after seeing what Goff has done in Detroit, I think the Rams were the issue. I don't think Goff was the issue. He wasn't great in L.A.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he played
a couple years where he was the Super Bowl. He was solid.
But, like, they were trying to move him for a reason, because... But maybe it was the system. Maybe it's the fact that they quit believing in him. They didn't surround him with the right weapons, which is clearly what we've seen with Goff. He can get guys the football. We don't
know many Rams fans, but like the one Rams fan we do, have fun with Goff.
Yeah,
that guy fucking
hates Goff.
sucks. Blah blah blah. And Seth's brother too. He's like, Goff is the worst quarterback in the history. Blah 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 blah. And then they have these seasons, and then you don't hear anything about them talking about Goff anymore.
Exactly.
Literally, they hated Goff. But it's so funny
he's just
now.
in the best. Like, the system is built for him. You know, like, he doesn't have to do too much. He just needs to take care of the football and get the ball to his playmakers.
Exactly. That's literally it, which is perfect, because like, he doesn't have to go be that guy. He doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes and make these plays. He just needs to put the ball where he needs to throw the ball to open playmakers and let them work.
Yeah, he doesn't
Especially
need to be
with the top 5-0 line, great running. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Me too, dude.
I can't wait, dude.
Just get excited all day like that. So for our final 3 picks in the draft, I'll just name all 3 of these off right now, and then if there's anything we want to say about them, we can. Also, at pick 96, we take Broderick Martin, interior defensive lineman from Western Kentucky. At pick 152, we take Colby Sorsdahl, guard from William and Mary, who they didn't even show any clips of this guy when he got drafted. It was just like they didn't even have like that edit of him, where they have like the close up going across his face.
Didn't even have like a picture of him. It's from like William and Mary or something. They had no clue.
They had no clue who he was, but I saw some dude on TikTok who was breaking down his film and said that he was a steal.
Was he
so we'll take
was
him.
he a senior bowl guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what
they
I heard.
must have really liked him in the Senior
I heard
Bowl,
that he had a really good Senior Bowl, which we've had the luxury of not being a playoff team, so we can go to the Senior Bowl, which is nice. And then in our 7th round pick, at pick 219, we take Antoine Green, a wide receiver out of UNC. And our boss Steve-O has not stopped talking about Antoine Green.
Really?
He thinks that Antoine Green was like the steal, which is just like, I don't know anything.
I don't know a single thing about it, I'll be honest. But I did. I was looking at some stuff about the what's the guy?
Broderick Martin.
Broderick Martin.
Yep.
He's like 6'6", or 6'4", something like. He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
I saw some NFL like scout or expert. I can't remember who it was, but he said he is the discount version of Jordan Davis.
I did see something like
Give
that.
me that. Give me that.
What was it? Fourth or?
I think it was a super late third, 96. So that would have been
give me that.
Early fourth.
I don't care if he can fucking plug the hole, go for it. Like that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's my dog. If he's off-brand Jordan Davis, I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
I need that for sure.
And we already have Lee McNeil, who's has really improved over these past couple of years.
Yep.
We brought back John Kaminsky and Isaiah Buggs, so this just adds to our depth for next year, which I'm just super excited.
That's what I really like. Like we may not have stars at the positions of the D line and stuff, but we've got so much depth,
which we've never had.
We've never had that.
Literally.
You see Brockers in every play. And
John Pensini a couple years ago, dude. Like just random dudes you never even heard.
Like,
these guys aren't even in the league anymore.
I remember this name sticks out. Quinn and Patricia signed like Danny Shelton.
Oh yeah, I remember
signed,
Danny
and
Shelton.
every play, and I was just like, "What the hell is going on?" I don't want to go back to that though. That's
the last
that's not this Lions anymore. That's the old Lions.
I did actually see a graphic today that was like the defense of the Lions when Brad Holmes took over compared to now, and Romeo Okwara is like the only guy that was on that defense that is still on the defense now.
Wow.
Which is just, and Romeo Okwara like isn't even gonna be like, he probably isn't even gonna play a lot anymore, So it's like
I'm rooting for him.
Oh, I am too.
Because before his injury, he was in talks. Was he a Pro Bowler?
I think he
was damn near. I think
he might have been
having
like a sub or something.
He was having a season like that. If he can come back pre-injury, we're gonna be good.
Yeah,
we're gonna be really good. Especially with him and his brother there. We've got depth there. We've got James Houston. This is the thing about James Houston, kind of going off track. I like James Houston, but he doesn't play a lot. Like when he did play last year, like he was good. He just doesn't play a high percentage of snaps.
He kind of was just out there on like third down mainly last
Yeah.
year to make a play basically.
But he made plays. For sure.
I think that's extremely beneficial to be able to do that as a football team.
Yeah.
Though. Keep your D linemen fresh for an entire game. Are you kidding me? You get to the fourth quarter, they don't make subs on the O line.
Exactly.
So if you're 8 guys deep at that D line, you can really wear down that O line over the course of a game. The Lions' whole thing is grit, and I think that's what makes a D line great is how much gas they have in the tank, how long they're willing to give every play of their best, and having more and more and more only helps that. And that's, I think we see the benefit of James Houston.
We hadn't even mentioned last year's second round pick, Josh Pascal, either, and I've been seeing a lot about they expect him to take a jump this year because he was not.
Do we still have Bugs?
Yeah, we still have Bugs.
That dude's a dog.
Yep.
He's like
Sign Kaminsky back. Like,
Yeah.
We got a ton,
we
bro.
still have Levi Ozawaruki or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably will never play for us, but
So was there a guy, or what? Actually, is there anything else we need?
there was one more thing. That we
go
need to
for
talk
it. Go
about,
for it.
and it's the DeAndre Swift trade.
Oh yeah.
Which obviously we expected this to happen. It was basically said after we drafted Gibbs that they are looking to trade him, and I believe actually Swift. I saw a report that Swift did request a trade after
I saw that.
Gibbs.
Like right as they drafted Gibbs, he's
which
like, all right.
obviously I don't blame him. He
makes
was he would have been the third guy at that point. We traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2025 fourth round pick, and then we swapped sevenths. I'm pretty sure, so we moved up a little bit, but we basically dumped Swift, so we didn't have to pay him. Which it does suck. I liked Swift. He was fun to watch when he was healthy, and he made plays. I know a lot of Lions fans had mixed feelings about DeAndre Swift. Me and Elliot were talking about DeAndre Swift a lot today. But what do you guys think about the departure of DeAndre Swift as a Lion?
I honestly loved DeAndre Swift a lot, but I'm really, really okay with it just because he didn't play as much as I really wanted to see him on the field. So it makes sense to kind of just move on.
Yeah.
If it was never going to work out the way it looked like it might have, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the drafting of Gibbs, it was kind of the writing on the wall that it was like, hopefully Gibbs can become what we thought Swift could become, but it's just like, unfortunately, it's not going to turn out that way.
And with Montgomery, I mean, I saw him honestly maybe taking more snaps than Swift anyway.
Oh yeah, I think so.
For
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, he would've
For
been
sure.
way more. Yeah, I love Swift too. When he played, that's how it is though. You can't. Injuries they happen, but you can't just rely on it. You can't be like, it's been 3 years. You can't be like, all right, well, hopefully he'll stay healthy this season. They went out and got the guy they wanted, and then they just dumped him. I mean, it's not like it was no hard feelings or anything.
No.
It was kind of just like, well, I mean, you really can't play the whole season, so it's just like we're gonna move on with you, But dude, I think I know it's a pick in 2 years, but a 4th round for DeAndre Swift, that's really good. I know it's in 2 years, but that's a really good trade-off. I didn't expect anything better than like a 6th, honestly.
Especially for a guy that you are going to have to pay who can't stay healthy.
Exactly.
You don't have any leverage.
Yeah, you have zero leverage. You can't ask for a trade.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you think about it, East?
Yeah, that was my biggest thing with it is I wish we would have traded him, but I don't think we would have gotten anything better than a 4th round if we trade him before the draft. So like my initial
really
thought
good.
was like, damn, I wish we could have gotten rid of Swift earlier. Because obviously we lose all leverage when we take Gibbs. Everybody in the NFL looks and goes, well, you clearly don't want him. So we're not going to – it's the same thing that happened with Rodgers and the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets weren't going to overpay for a guy that they knew didn't want to be where he was. And that was the same way with Swift. So that sucked, but I don't mind. I liked Swift. He had some awesome, memorable moments. I think about that play where he touched earth, got up, and then took it all the way in. That play was absolutely wild.
I still love that play, too, against Packers last game where they threw it to Amon-Ra. But think about it with Gibbs, though. Like, Gibbs will be out there, actually, like, for hopefully most of the season.
I don't want to jinx it.
And he's going to be in the slot more often than Swift was able to. I think we'll really see Gibbs play all over. I don't think he's going to be a running back to the Lions. I think we're going to see him be used as a slot. But yeah, I like Swift a lot. It sucks to see him go, but we had no room for him anymore on this roster, and I expected him
just
to
how
leave.
it happened.
Yeah, I expected him to leave.
Like Elliot says, no hard feelings, and I think that was made pretty obvious because they traded him to where he's from. He's from Philadelphia. Yep. The Eagles are a contending team that also have a hole at running back right now, so it's not like he's going somewhere where it's similar where he's going to be some second, third string. Like, he's probably going to be the dude in Philly once again, and they traded him to a place that I assume he wanted to be at. So just another Georgia Bulldog goes to the
and if he stays healthy, he's going to be one of the best running backs in the NFC probably. So it's
for sure. He could dominate.
I just hope we don't play him in the playoffs.
Especially in that offense.
If we play the Eagles in the playoffs and Swift has a 150-yard game or something and torches us, it would be pretty depressing.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, that'd be awful. What were you going to say before the Swift thing?
There was, going into the draft, there was one guy that I had circled on my draft board that I was like, I need this guy on the Lions.
This is going to be...
and I'm going to say it and I want you guys to think of your guy who you had, you were into going on the draft really hoping he was going to end the day wearing the Lions hat. My guy was Jake Moody. I needed that guy on the Lions.
I was still wondering where this was going to go.
I wanted him so badly, and it sucks because he was taken so early. He was taken so early.
Before Hendon Hooker. Because
I didn't obviously I expected I want Moody, but I want him in the 5th round. I don't want to have to reach for the kicker, but he was the guy that I wanted going into this draft. It really sucks that we weren't able to get Jake Moody. Thought he was coming home for real.
Day 2. That's it's
crazy.
I don't blame San Fran. It's not like they have many holes, But
and he's gonna sit a year or two behind. Is Gold still on the team?
I think he is. I'm pretty sure he's
one of the NFL's greatest kickers.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just
and then he's gonna just be there for 20 years probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he's better than him.
I mean, it's still go blue, and I like Jake Moody, but I read a stat that out of all the good kickers in the NFL right now, I'm not gonna name specifics, but when they were in college, their 50 to 59 percentage was 60% or higher. The worst one was 60%. Moody's is 40%.
Really?
So
really?
It's Moody's got the leg. He can be good.
He definitely had his best year last year. I would love to see his 50 to 59 just from last season.
Exactly. And kickers are weird, dude. Because
they are weird.
Because you look at someone like Younghoe, who I think he went to Georgia Southern or something.
I have no clue,
you didn't hear about him until you saw his name on the draft board that year. But he went to the Chargers. He was one of those guys that was supposed to be good. Sucked. Got dumped after a year. Comes back a year or two later, one of the best kickers in the NFL now.
Yeah.
It's kickers are just weird.
Look at Rodrigo Blankenship, dude.
Uh-huh.
He was this crazy college kicker. His first year with the Colts, he was really good. And then he just gets cut and now is not on a team.
Who was the kicker from Florida State?
That dude, Roberto something.
Yeah, Roberto something.
He was one that got
second round,
he was the biggest draft prospect kicker since Sebastian Janikowski.
And then
he just sucked.
He was out in 2 years.
That's why I'm saying kickers are weird.
Yeah.
They're the weirdest thing ever.
Who was the punter last year that got in trouble?
Oh, Matt Araiza.
Oh, yeah.
He got drafted in the 4th or 5th round too, dude.
Well, he was supposed to change the game of football.
He literally was at the punter position. He had the best fucking leg ever.
Yeah.
He was insane.
We had never seen a player be able to flip field position and force guys to the 1 yard line like him.
Anywhere on the field.
I know we're getting off on a tangent here, but I saw this as a question, and I want to ask you guys this. It said, if Justin Tucker was in this year's draft and like you knew he was going to be Justin Tucker, like you knew he was going to be probably the best kicker ever, where does he go in the draft? Like, does he go top 5, top 10?
He goes to in the first round?
Yeah, I was gonna.
He goes first round.
Dude, I think he goes first round.
He has to.
He's got to.
He's the greatest kicker to ever play.
All time.
And he can win you so many games.
Think about the amount of games he has won for that.
I never thought I'd be asked this question.
Isn't this random? What do you think, Carter? I'll let you go first. Unless you don't know right yet.
I think he's definitely top 20.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Top 20.
Why don't the Eagles take him?
Yeah,
like one of those teams that's in position to win now.
I was gonna say a team
takes
that's
them.
set.
Like, that means he's a top 10 pick. That means he's going 10th.
You take him over Jalen Carter.
Dude, I could just never think of drafting a kicker in the first round. Holy.
But as long as you like knew he was, it's like you don't have the risk
he's
of
gonna
him
be
being
the
a
GOAT.
bust. Like, he's going to be Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers of all time.
That is so funny. I've never thought about it like
I'm
that.
glad that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Gee, that would fuck with my head.
I don't know.
so
I don't know what
much.
they would do. Yeah. Okay, but back to this.
Yeah. Who did you want? What
that you
player did
wanted.
you want from the draft going in?
Go for it.
You go for it.
I can. Go
I
I can
so
go
like
for it.
I like Jalen Carter. Like I at 6, I thought it was a good pick. Like I really liked him. What I was hoping would happen, didn't think it would happen, but like from talks of Texans saying they weren't going to take CJ Stroud, and then like Will Levis maybe going above Anthony Richardson, and maybe Anthony Richardson going above Stroud. Like if Stroud fell at 6, I wanted him. I think Stroud's the best quarterback in this draft. I think he has the best build, the best arm. I think he's way different from all these previous Ohio State quarterbacks where he sits in the pocket and he throws the ball and he's good. So like that's who but like going in the draft, I had a feeling they were gonna trade because I knew the Cardinals were gonna trade.
Yeah.
So like there wasn't like a specific player, but like at 6, I was thinking like Jalen Carter, Stroud. Like I'd be okay with either one. So
I was definitely like considering Stroud, and I think Stroud is like the best. Like, he probably has the highest floor out of any of these QBs. Like, he's going to be a good quarterback. Like, I feel like he might not be a stud, but he's definitely going to be good. He would have been perfect for the Lions offense, too, for sure. My guy, it's biased, but I wanted Jaden Reed on MSU so bad. And then he gets drafted by the Packers, dude. And it's just like, I feel so... Because, like, he went in the second round, and he wasn't really supposed to go that early. So I was, like, trying to be happy for him. But, like, he goes to the freaking Packers, dude. Like, I can't... Like, I have to hate him now, and it sucks, but... It is what it is.
Packers screwed Lions fans over between Lou Nichols and Jaden Reed.
Yeah, they drafted Lou Nichols. That's
Like,
crazy.
Lou Nichols in the 7th.
What are we supposed to do other than... I don't know. I can't root for Lou Nichols. I just can't.
You root for him to make the roster.
Yeah. I'm going to root for him to be there, but like the moment he starts running well, I'm going to hate him. I'm not going to like the guy. And he's going to be good. Lou Nichols will be on the
awesome.
roster.
We'll see. You got anybody that you wanted on the Lions?
I think my thing was I really liked Will Anderson.
Yeah, that was dream scenario.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was
didn't think
so
he was ever gonna drop.
that's what I mean.
That's
like
true,
I
yeah.
didn't necessarily see him being there, but if he was there, oh my gosh.
And there was talks about them trading up to 3 potentially to get him.
Yeah.
But then you look at the absolute bag that the Texans gave up to move back,
Yeah.
which obviously they moved from 12 instead of 6, but it definitely would have costed quite an amount to go get Will Anderson. I would have loved him though too, for sure.
Would have been game over for the rest of the league. I mean, that would have been like Super Bowl favorite type shit.
Yeah.
So do we still want to talk about any like other teams that like won the draft or at least that we thought had like good drafts or anything?
I think I mentioned this at work today. I love what the Cardinals did because the Cardinals are going
Run
to
through
be-
it for me because I don't really remember.
They traded 3 to the Texans, and then went to 12, right?
Yep.
And then traded up to 6 with the Lions. that third pick that they traded was the Texans' next year pick. I
They
think.
got Houston's next year.
year's first pick. So they have 2 first rounds next year. The Cardinals are going to stink this year. Texans are trying to win this year, but realistically, they're not gonna. They're gonna be a bottom 10 team.
Yeah.
they're gonna have potentially 2 top 5, top 3 picks next year coming in with Caleb Williams draft next year. Cardinals could very well be the worst team in the NFL. Go like not win a game.
Sure could, dude.
I think going into next year, it's going to be really interesting. Say you have 1 and 5, 2 and 3, whatever it is, 100%. If Caleb Williams is there for you and you trade Kyler away and get another first round pick, like they are going to be dangerous in the future. They're going to have a lot of assets and it's going to be I think I like that a lot. I didn't realize it till I read something that they had that pick, and it's like, holy shit, you get Caleb Williams, and then whoever else is coming up, like that's gonna be really good.
That'd be such an interesting, like, dramatic situation to watch the departure of Kyler Murray from the air. Like, that'd be so much fun to be an outsider and just be like, because we all know Cardinals and Kyler, they got such a good relationship. They love each other so much.
Well, it's interesting because I remember reading that like Kyler wanted linemen for the past like 3 or 4 years, and that like this year he was saying like I want Paris Campbell, and he finally got a lineman. So
good for him.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, Paris Campbell?
Is that or no?
Paris Johnston. Yeah.
Paris Campbell.
Yeah. Colts.
But yeah, like finally got the lineman that I remember he wanted Tristan Wirfs, and then like there was one other like Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I remember you
lineman
somebody,
he wanted. Yeah, there was something. There's another one that he really wanted. And they just never
didn't do it.
never got him. I remember. I think they got like Isaiah Simmons that year.
And they didn't pick up his. They're not picking up his 5th year. option.
I just saw it before we started this. Actually,
it's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
I think what the Cardinals, and it always sucks to say like the Cardinals did a great job and we were a part of a trade that they made because it makes you think that like but I don't think we like made a bad move or anything trading down.
No.
But like basically the Cardinals moved down 3 spots and then got Houston's first next year.
Yeah.
And got the guy that they probably were going to take at 3 if they didn't move down anyways.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
like they had to move from that spot.
Yeah.
They had to move from 3 because like you can get someone that you want there, but like it's not going to benefit your team next year.
No.
In any way. So
and it seemed like they were destined to draft offensive line either way, and that would have been a little early for this class.
Exactly.
But getting him at 6, you still get Houston first next year, like you said. Houston's going to try to win, but like realistically,
exactly.
is CJ Stroud going to come in and be like the dude right away?
Probably not. Carry that defense.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they're probably going to be a bottom 10 team, and I really do think the Cardinals will be the worst team in the league next year.
Oh yeah.
You probably won't see Kyler suit up next year. Like I bet.
I could see him playing barely any.
You get to week 7, week 8, and they're 1-6, 1-7. It's like, what's the point in even bringing him back? You might as well just rock.
He might just request a trade. Honestly,
he might. I mean,
that'll be interesting.
You got even more picks,
dude. That's. I was literally just thinking about like you get Caleb Williams and then another top pick right after that. Like they could be pretty good.
Trade Kyler for even more picks.
Hang on to Hollywood. Give him a great receiver for the first year, solid receiver for the first year.
You just have DeAndre Hopkins still, which obviously they want to trade.
Yeah, that looks.
I thought that I mentioned this to Elliot today, but I think the most interesting thing of the draft was, I mean, we know the Patriots always do weird things in the draft. They drafted a kicker and a punter in this draft, which is just. That just seems like
they drafted 12 players.
Yeah,
and I was when later on I ended up looking. The Jaguars drafted 13.
They drafted 13.
They drafted 13 players. I'm pretty sure.
How do you even get that many picks?
Dude, I think it was like I can't remember. There was just a ton. It was just
with
a ton
how
in a row.
little trades happen in the NFL. It is really surprising that you can even get that many picks in one draft.
There's so many
exactly.
That go
it's also
during the draft.
It's also so funny because like. You look back on it, a player gets traded, and you're like, oh, yeah, that player got traded for 17 draft picks or something. You always forget about it because it's 3 years later.
I think that's why, because that pick that we took Broderick Martin with, we didn't have like a pick in that spot. And I think they traded a 4th, 5th, and a 6th just to move up to draft him.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they did that, because they already had picked 5 players and had like 5 picks left to make. And it's like, do you really want to bring in 10 more dudes? Like, you probably don't want to. So,
dude, I was looking at teams and their picks this year. Like I looked at, I think it was San Fran. Like San Fran didn't pick to like the 3rd or 2nd round or something. It was like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then like 3 7th round picks. And then a lot of teams had like, it was the Chiefs. Chiefs had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like they had a pick in each round. A lot of different teams had picks all over the place. But like what's really cool is you look at the Lions. 1, 1, 2, 2.
I think they had 2/3. I'm pretty sure Hooker was. Or, I mean, Broderick Martin was a 3rd.
2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and then like a 7th round pick or a 6th round pick or whatever. Like, you don't see that very often in a draft. That people, there's 6 picks in the first 3 rounds or whatever it is. It's really awesome. Nice. It's really like, because dude, looking at it, a 3rd round draft pick in the NFL is valuable.
You should get a starter.
Oh, yeah.
You should have a starter in the 3rd round.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Go ahead.
If you're drafting in the 3rd round, you're getting a starter. That's what your goal is. You're not getting somebody with upside that you hope. You are drafting to get a starter.
Yep.
So lastly, I think what are we at for a time basis?
Hour.
Gotcha. So we'll wrap it up here. Lions prediction for next year. I want to get the way too early prediction. Obviously, this is way too early. I haven't gone through training camp. The schedule hadn't even come out yet. We are Lions bias fans, obviously, but this is the first year that at least I can remember that we've had legit expectations for this season.
For
you know,
real.
because there's the years with Stafford, it's like, yeah, we should be good, but like we're never gonna make any noise. You know, like we might make the playoffs. This year we're favored to win the NFC North, heavily favored to win the NFC North, and it's kind of scary to have expectations as Lions fans because it's something we're not used to, and it hasn't ended well in the past. But I want to get your guys' early Lions prediction, like record-wise, or like just anything really, like who goes off.
Elliot,
do we go far in the playoffs? Whatever.
You got a futures bet on the Lions yet? Are you gonna? Do you bet on the Lions? There's a question. Do you bet on the Lions?
I do. I don't gamble as much as I used
Okay,
to.
gotcha.
But I pulled up the picture
Oh, with all the opponents.
Yeah.
The schedule drops, I believe, May 11th. It drops
it's
pretty
soon.
soon, so I'm excited to see how that works.
It really,
but-
you can't make a prediction because you don't know who's going to be injured, who's playing when, all this and that. You got Packers home, Bears home, Vikings home, obviously. Then at home, you've got Seahawks, Falcons, Panthers, Raiders, Broncos.
That's all wins.
You shouldn't win. You shouldn't lose.
No,
those are all wins.
They're gonna lose.
you
some
might
of those
lose
games or
a
whatever.
conference game, you know, but
But then you look at our away schedule and it's tough. It's so tough. You have Cowboys on the road, Saints on the road, Bucks should be the Bucks, Chiefs road, Chargers road, and Ravens road.
it's hard because that
It's
away
so
schedule is
hard.
and we were
'Cause
not
I
a good
could-
road team last
Because
year.
I could definitely see Lions splitting every division game somehow. I don't think they will. I think they should go.
They should.
What is it? They play six games. I think they should go 4-2 or whatever. But
We went
like
5-1
I think
last
5-1
year.
exactly.
I think 5-1's
Like,
realistic.
oh, I could see them dropping some bullshit game
For
in,
sure.
in Lambeau, you know,
Yeah.
like, or just like What's crazy is I think the easiest games they have is the Vikings. I think it's the second best team in the division, which is so funny to think of.
Because their defense is so bad, and we're just gonna expose them.
I know, and I think Aaron Glenn has got that offense down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His offense.
My prediction for the
11
Lions,
wins. My
11.
the dream is 11. You know,
Yeah.
like that'd be awesome. That'd be, and it's realistic. So
It for sure is realistic.
Dude,
yeah.
I think 11 wins in the NFC gets you a 3 seed. Honestly, win the division,
Probably.
it gets you a 3 seed. So
Especially because Philly and San Fran are probably each going to win 14
Yep,
apiece.
yep.
So they're going to steal a bunch of wins from all them other teams.
I don't know. I think I'm going 12 games. I think we can be really, really, really good next year. I can't wait. I haven't been like the diehard Lions fans like you have for as long in my life. So maybe I haven't experienced this as often, and maybe that's why I'm not holding back. Maybe that's what's going on. But I think 12 wins. Obviously, with that, you win the NFC North. I think you either go 5-1 or 6-0 in division games. I know it's rare. You have to be an extremely dominant team for that to happen.
But this could be the year for it.
Yeah, the Bears do worry me a little bit. The Bears are the team that worries me
Dude, I was
out
telling
of the
Elliot,
three.
the Packers low-key scare me still.
With Jalen Hyatt now on that team.
They didn't get Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, he went to the Giants.
Oh yes.
They
I
got
remember that.
JV.
Yeah. My bad. I remember Jalen Hyatt went to a team without a QB, which I thought Packers without like a wide receiver is what I meant. But I definitely the Bears scare me. But I think you win the division, 12 wins. You win a playoff game, no doubt. Like that's the expectation. I don't know whether you win that second playoff game or not. It's all matchup based. You know where we do get seeded. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. So I'm going to go
this year.
Yeah. So I'm going to at least go with I'm going to say win a playoff game, win the division.
Gotcha.
12 wins.
What do you got, Carter?
That's the expectation.
Yeah.
That's the expectation.
I think they win at least 10 games.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them win 12 as well. I think they win 10 though, and I think they win the division pretty easily. I might be crazy, but I think
They should win the division.
Yeah, there's
They
no
really
doubt.
should.
There's no doubt. Division champ should be like that. Shouldn't even be a goal for this Lions team this year.
Yeah,
that should be
the
expected.
expectation.
Yeah.
You know what
for
sucks?
sure.
The Lions are never expected to win the division, so it's just like
Literally never.
I know that's why it's weird saying this. It's like,
So-
whoa,
It
we're
sounds so
finally
weird,
like
yeah.
pretty good.
But the total for wins this year is 9. Vegas is always right, bro.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
always right there, so it's just like
Oh, that is scary.
I was reading
I
a
know.
lot of those before the draft, and like the Eagles are at like 10.5, but it was before the draft. I don't know what they are now. That was like I should have been on it right then and there. But I think for me, I'm with you, Carter. I think 10 wins is like
I'm happy with 10.
I'm
I'm happy
satisfied
with
with
10,
10 wins. You know, I haven't seen a 10-win season in quite some time. I think 10 wins you the division in this division. And even just obviously, I want them to win a playoff game because it hasn't happened in literally our whole lifetime. Like our dads have seen one Lions playoff win ever, which is crazy to think about. But just the fact that a home playoff game would be hosted at Ford Field for the first time ever, like imagine how wild that place is going to be if we win the division and host a playoff game there. Even if we win it too, like
so crazy.
It's unreal to think about what the city of Detroit would be like with just Ford Field in general with the home playoff game there. I mean, that's got to be one of the best home atmospheres.
It'd be insane.
Just because of it hasn't happened, you know?
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's never happened there before.
And it's like the fans have ever lost hope. I mean, the fans in Detroit are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, we have one of the best fan base in the NFL.
Bro, and
you give us a playoff win. It's like the Kings. I mean, it's just like the Kings just happened this year. We saw how crazy Sacramento was in the playoffs and the atmosphere. It'd be the same exact shit. You put
like
a playoff game in Detroit.
Yeah. Bro, when I had my season tickets, like, we were going to some games where, like, the season was already over and there were fans still showing up and it was crazy.
Oh yeah,
the Detroit fans are just different. Like they love sports actually. Really, you look at teams like LA, they don't give a fuck about sports.
Exactly.
They don't.
The LA Rams won the Super Bowl and couldn't even fill the stadium with their own fans.
Anyone there
at their own place.
Exactly.
Like a Super Bowl in Detroit, dude. Oh my God, there'd be more Lions fans there than anybody else.
Exactly.
For sure.
Even
because you love football.
Yeah, exactly.
You love football.
All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. Appreciate you guys coming on. It's been a long time coming, but I'm happy we finally got it done. Lions season incoming. Super excited. Look out for a basketball episode coming this week from me and Easton. And that's it. Peace.
Peace.